tell the president that he shouldn't play his politics. He is doing it the best way he can. That is why the resistance from that splinter group is a people who have realized that they were outmaneuvered straight during the succession. Because when people are going to India to bring Raila's body, another team is rushed as if it's actually a country. There would be nothing that would actually have befallen ODM had they waited until Raila Odinga's burial and then sat. There is nothing major that would have happened to ODM. No one would have died. The party would not have died. But somebody somewhere was interested in succession. That is why they were outmaneuvered. Yes. So this splinter group feels like there is no hope on wherever they are going. Then if you see the ODM part that is actually at Jamhuri today, Jamhuri grounds today, is actually a group that confuses proximity to ownership. They think that just because they are close to power, they own that power. And you can actually feel that in the way they actually are talking, including Meshack. You know, Meshack and I come a long way. I've known him from our youth days, all of us from Nairobi North, that is, you know, Mathare, Starehe and the other places. Even as young people, Meshack has not always been an ODM person, but now I see he's actually very loudly speaking. He's
attending the STC today.
We will see that. I'll be waiting for him to actually post a video, but I've not known him to be a very friendly person to ODM. So the problem with that particular team is that they assume they are already in. For William Ruto, he wants an ODM that he can actually control. But now there is a bigger issue here that probably we are not giving justice to. The issue of dynasty fatigue. You know, under Raila's charisma, no one had a problem with Raila's lineage showing up in politics here and there, Oburu showing up in Bondo, the sister in Kisumu, here and there, the Ogingas and the Odingas showing up. Raila's charisma was much bigger, and people would actually stomach that. Today, without Raila, that succession starts to feel like it's entitlement. When you see that Oburu Odinga, who wasn't even a member of the NEC, is actually helicoptered into the top leadership. For a number of people, the ideologues in ODM, it starts to feel like this is an entitlement. The same will actually be said of Winnie when the delegates in Nairobi are creating a non-existent seat and then making a demand. It continuously, even if we are not talking about it, it continuously feels like the Odingas are actually making this an entitlement. And if you remember the history of ODM, I said, is actually a protest movement. So for the president, he's ensuring that he also tilts the race in 2027 by ensuring that if you can influence how the opposition is actually handling the internal affairs, you've already tilted the election. You know where it's going.
But of course, even the president visiting Nyanza, only days to this SDC, says a lot. They say in politics nothing happens by accident.
No, I think that was the schedule of the president is prearranged for a very long time. You can even if you look at his calendar, up to August, it has been arranged already. So that wasn't coincidence. I think we are trying.
Yeah, it wasn't coincidence.
No, I'm saying it is. It is something that has been arranged before. So there is nothing to pick from there that it coincided to when the NDC is going, the special delegates conference.
But do you agree that the president's hand will be felt in today's STC? That a lot of what is going to be happening today, the president has direct influence over it?
I doubt, because already we have a party leader. We have decisions that have been made by the Central Management Committee.
It's the president propping up that party leader.
May I finish? We have the executive they have made a decision, and what is happening is just to ratify those. So there is nothing that is happening that will be accidental.
Okay.
All the things that will happen in that special the agenda is there. The things that have been ratified already from the various organs of the party, those are the things that are on the agenda. So there is nothing that accidental that we want to crop up with that is not known. Of course, what happens with the other agenda of giving it life for the party to go and negotiate for the broad-based government with UDA. I think what the delegates will just do is that they will approve. But the names it will be done later by the various organs of the party. So in terms of the agenda of today, there is no drama as such.
You don't anticipate anything.
Unless drama now creates itself outside what
we rarely anticipate drama, it just happens.
But
allow me to engage Meshack because he's been waiting for a while now. Meshack, on this issue of the president and the kind of influence that many people feel he has in the discussions that are going to be happening today, he's seemingly propping up a succession battle, saying there are people who are better. Probably, do you agree that yes, the president is very much interested in what is going on today and his hand will definitely be felt?
Fred, this is what I look at it from. I think presidential seat is a very powerful position in the country and has influence on everyone, including the so-called united opposition, because they also move based on what the president say and how the president moves. So their moves are also much dictated and influenced by the moves of the president. If the president tries to lean right, they lean left. If the president comes back to the left, they move to the right. So it is not just ODM. I mean, let nobody lie to you that it is only ODM, that whoever becomes president will have a lot of influence on every single thing going on in the country. So that is one. Number two, I don't think the hand of the president is right in the middle of the ODM affairs, but the president would like ODM to go a certain direction, definitely. Because even if you are the president, you would love a party like ODM with strong structures and influence in different parts of the country to back you up. So that is a no-brainer. He will definitely want a strong ODM to be part of the team that backs him up for the re-election. But that decision will come immediately. The two teams will sit on the table to negotiate. And one thing we will not forget is that there is more going to be revealed when that team is actually constituted. When we see the team from UDA and the team from ODM, we will definitely know what is likely to happen, because they are not going to be people from Mars or Jupiter. They are going to be people on Earth and people who have been in the politics of this country. So we can see, like Maliba says, we've been friends. So if I see Maliba sitting on a certain table as part of the team negotiating, that is quote unquote, I'm not saying he's going to, I will definitely know what is likely to come out of that negotiation based on who he is. So let us wait and let's not preempt right now. Let's wait and see who will be sitting on that table from UDA, who will be sitting on that table from ODM. Then we can actually come out with some conclusions by then.
All right. And of course, Arnold Maliba raised the issue of the Odinga name and the Odinga factor in the discussions today. Of course, we can see the demands in Nairobi that Winnie Odinga becomes one of the, actually, the party should create a new position of the fourth deputy party leader. There's also the fact that Oburu Oginga simply inherited that position of party leader and is going to be ratified today. Do you think that's an issue and it probably will become a big discussion today?
For me, the issue of Honourable Winnie Odinga sounds to me like a too late kind of, or an afterthought kind of. So whether it is going to find itself in the order paper, I am not too sure. But of course, yes, Maliba is right. When Baba was around, he eclipsed so many things and people were willing to actually put aside any of those things. So yes, there were a few people who could talk from a distance and say, oh, the family has got a lot of influence in the party, blah, blah, blah. But it couldn't go too far past that because, again, Jacom had a way of making everybody around feel like whether you are an Odinga or not, you belong here. This is your party. But now, in his absence, the party has to be really, really careful about how to create those positions like the one that is being created. As to whether she's able to get the position, I cannot be too sure from where I sit. But I also think it could be the attempt of aiming at the sun to fall at the moon. Those are all possible in politics.
All right. Thank you.